What's up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a good week. I want to start off this video by saying that I've had the privilege of doing something I feel like most people don't get the chance to do, and that is to take a step back from the day-to-day grind, the demands of everyday life or of the rat race, whatever you want to call it, and to ask those questions of what do I want to do with my life? What direction do I want to be headed? What is the vision? And is this path that I'm on right now in line with that, whatever it is? And I feel like we all understand that that's an important. Those are important considerations to make, and it's very obvious if you know me that these questions are extremely important to me, to the frustration of many. Well, I don't know about many, but my close ones around me, my family is who I'm thinking about, to their frustration. But regardless, I'm committed to them, and that's a good thing. However, if you're along those same lines and you're as obsessed as I am about not leading a life that is not your own, and you're afraid of waking up one day and looking back with regret, looking back and wondering where did all the time go, how the hell did I end up here? If those are along the lines of your fears as well, it's possible that you might have experienced the other end of the spectrum like I have as well. So this one end of the spectrum, right, is where you're completely immersed in the rat race. You're totally stuck, totally unaware, never having considered what you want your future to look like, and you just kind of narrowly looking at the next day, the next day, and the next day, and you don't think about the future and how you want to sculpt your future rather than just reacting to the present and the demands of the present. This end of the spectrum, though, is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous. And what I'm going to argue for in this video is a balance is better. But what I'm stuck in right now, and I feel like I'm trying to my best to get out of, is the other end of the spectrum is asking those questions to the in substitute of actually doing the work, in substitute of the grind consistently. So I am so afraid of being caught up in the day to day, caught up in the rat race, caught up in the grind, just working aimlessly without purpose, that I find myself even now that I have a good job, I have a job that I really enjoy, it's good for me, it's proactive, it's extremely results oriented. I don't get paid if I don't produce, and that's what I want. I want to be pressured to make things happen, and I'm not afraid anymore, or at least I don't think I am, of ending up then in a position where I didn't intend to, right? I'm not going to fall into a destiny I didn't mean for myself to fall into. Even though that's the case now, I still find myself justifying not working every once in a while in order to ask those questions again, making sure, am I on the right path? Am I asking, or do I have the right motivations? Am I going about this the right way? How can I be better? These are all still good questions. But the problem is I've made it into such an obsessive pattern that I'm justifying breaking my momentum. I don't give myself any chance at momentum because I'm not being consistent. I'm not following the schedules that I've lined out for myself and that I keep trying to line out for myself because I'm so afraid, even though, like I said, I have this great position. So anyway, what is the solution then? Let's talk about the solution. It's pretty simple, I think. It's maybe easier said than done, but I've successfully applied it in bursts. Applying it on a consistent basis is another story, but I feel like, maybe it just takes practice, and so I'll share it with you guys anyway. What I've realized is that if in those moments of the desire to, like for me, it's always in my writing. I journal all the time. And so an example close to home for me is, I was writing one day something along the lines of changing the way that I was viewing like the conversation, because I do door-to-door sales, when I wanted to like be more persuasive, right? And take that contemplation and apply it to the doors. So basically trying to improve my effectiveness. And I was doing that contemplation in the morning. I was telling myself, like, I want to take the focus off of myself and whether I'm being too confident or too like pushy, or whether I'm being confident enough, whether I'm being relax, all that stuff. Take the attention off of that and consider more their experience and what they're going through, what they're feeling at that time, and what their mental dialogue is, and getting clear on how I want to influence that, what I want them to feel. And even though that still sounds pretty reasonable, what's amazing is that so I was writing this in the morning, right? And I was kind of getting through it. And then it came around the time where getting on the doors is like a good idea. It's like prime time. That's my schedule hours. I was like, okay, like it's time to go out. And I wasn't finished with the thinking yet. I wasn't finished with the journal entry. And normally, if I was, not applying this solution that I've just told you, or that maybe I haven't even told you yet, if I had not applied that solution, I would have continued to write. I would have been like, okay, you know what? Getting back on the doors right away is not as important. I want to finish out this thought because I know if I do that and then get back out on the doors, it's going to be more effective. I'm going to be more effective. That's period. So it'll be more fruitful in the long haul. But I was like, nope, Xander, don't let yourself do that because you know yourself. It's just an obsessive pattern. It's just an excuse not to work. Like, don't let yourself get into that. So I didn't. I was in the middle of that thought, didn't finish it, got on the doors anyway, even though I was like, I'm not doing this as well as I could because I didn't finish my journal entry, right? But I felt fine. I don't even know what kind of success I got, but it felt good to work. It felt good to work even though I wasn't really looking forward to it. It's kind of like when you go to the gym, even though you didn't feel like it, and then afterwards you just feel amazing because you feel, I don't know if it's a simple sense of accomplishment or just kind of getting your heart racing a little bit, but it's just activity. It's just being productive. It's good. Like it feels there's some sort of dignity and more to it. But regardless, I did it anyway. And then what's amazing is I came back to that journal entry. And I saw it in a new way. I saw it in a way that it didn't resonate with me anymore. It might, again, like I said, it's probably still reasonably true, but it's just not very helpful. I came back to the journal entry and I continued to write, but in a different light. I was talking then, instead of considering their experience, I believed more importantly was my own convictions about what I'm there for and how valuable I am to them, and whether or not I believe in what I'm offering and how much I believe it's worth as compared to what I'm asking for. And that might be a lot of info, but basically the thing to take away is that the solution here is, if you're an overthinker, if you're a perfectionist, if you're an extremely analytical type that's afraid of ending up in a destiny you never intended for yourself, and you find yourself on this opposite end of the spectrum, overthinking things and not taking action consistently, the solution, as simple as it is and as challenging as it may seem, it is what it is. Nonetheless, there's no complicated thing that will really help that much. It's just a matter of doing it. The solution is not letting your mind in those fits of overthinking dominate. Just do it anyway. And what you'll find is that you'll come back and your thinking will be more clear. Your consideration, your contemplation will be more fruitful because you've combined it. It's almost like when you go and do the work anyway and you do it consistently, even when you're allowing yourself to be imperfect, you come back and it's like you've taken the mesh of your attention or whatever it is and you've spread it out into your body, and the intelligence of your body then colors your writing, if you do writing, or if any other type of consideration. The intelligence of your whole organism is applied, and it's clearer and it's simpler, but it's way more powerful because you're not just stuck up here, you're applying all of your facilities, it's just amazing. So that's I think that's it. I don't want to make this video too long, so I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.